Tim from Minimalistic here. That's it, without doubt. The jury's back. The verdict is in. Without doubt, online reviews are where the action is. Our clients that have figured out how to get great online reviews, a continuous stream of online reviews, are doing significantly better than the ones that aren't. It's clear that getting online reviews is critical moving forward for any local business.
This is why we're saying, without any doubt now, in 2014 and beyond, as we move into the future, this is only going to get more true. As a business, your ability to get a continuous stream of online reviews is the number one competitive advantage in the market that you can have. If you are in a market where you're trying to convert clients, whether you've got competition or not, the reviews are the single biggest, most important thing that you should be doing at a marketing level to get more clients from online sources. I simply can't overemphasize how important this is to understand and execute on. So let's look at some data. There's tons of data online, research that's been done to analyze the influence of online reviews, and this is an amalgamation of that data. So what I'm going to do is go through the highlights of that data so that you can, without doing all the research and all the work, you can just glean the key points, the key things that you need to understand in order to grow your business. As a general trend, consumers are growing much more accustomed to consulting reviews when making purchases on all types of products and services. Now, this is particularly the case if you have a local business. This works much more strongly. It's true generally online, but it's much more true when you have a local business. 57%, so over half of people searched online for a local business. So if they're making a decision as to some company to work with at a local level, more than half of the people that use a local service search online for that local service. Of those 57%, 88% of those people read reviews to determine the quality of that local business. So in other words, the reviews, when they search online and find a local business, the reviews and the quality of those reviews are the major, by far the major, almost 90% is the determining factor, is how they make a decision. The thing to understand about reviews is people trust reviews. They're driven by other consumers and they trust that much more than other forms of information. So if you have a website and you give the visitor to your website all the benefits, all the reasons why they should work with you, they should buy your product, understand that the reviews from other consumers equal credibility, are the thing that's going to influence them much more than anything that you say, any benefits you provide, any evidence you provide that your service is the one to use. It's the online reviews that are going to influence the visitor much more than anything that you say on your website. And that influence is on an upward trend, so it's only increasing, it's not leveled out at all. Now, it's important to understand the cycle that most searchers go through. They'll typically go through a phase where they're just doing research. They'll do searches online and your website may or may not show up. And they'll go to the website, they'll maybe look at it, and then they'll look at somebody else, and then they'll look at another website, and they'll just be doing research to see what's out there and what's available. The importance of the review at that time is relatively low. And another thing to understand about this is the majority of time somebody doesn't do a search and then go to your website and then make a decision there. They'll do some research, they'll spend a bit of time, they'll look at one company, they'll look at another company, they'll look at another company. If they're impacted positively by your website, they'll return to your website. Now let's do some serious decision making as to who we're going to work with. Consumers typically go from a research mode to a buying mode. When they go to that buying mode, they'll put in a much more targeted long string on the buying phrase. At that point, when they're in buying mode, they'll look at the reviews, they'll look to see what other people have said about your products or services. It's at that point when they're in buying mode, they are most influenced by those reviews. This is why getting online reviews is so important when you want to get leads or buyers of your products or services. So just think about that for a second. When clients, when visitors to your website or when people searching for your services are in buying mode, that's when the reviews have their maximum effect. You clearly want people when they're in buying mode. This is kind of good to be in, but this is where you need to be for sure. If there's just one or two reviews, The impact is somewhat minimal. In order to have a really strong impact, then you need to be up beyond the 10 reviews level. It's having at least 10 reviews gives you the maximum level of credibility from the searcher's point of view. Now, it used to be in the old days, in the pre-internet days, that a personal recommendation was one of the strongest things you could get to get a new client. A key change in the marketplace is that online reviews weigh pretty much as much in the visitor's mind as personal recommendations. They're as strong in their influence as personal recommendations. So this should help you internalize just the power of these online reviews. It's just like getting referrals. It's just like getting clients give other clients personal recommendations associated with your service. When they see those online reviews, and typically they're often on some other website or in search results, what's the next step? What do they do? And this is the spread. In more than half of the cases, the next step is they're going to go from looking at the reviews to visit your website. So that's the outcome, is they're going to look at the search results and then they're going to land on your website or return to your website. 15%, a significant percentage, are going to just pick up the phone and immediately call you after reading the reviews. However, 22%, a bigger percentage, are going to look at your competition and they're going to compare reviews. They're going to compare those reviews for quality of the reviews, what the reviews actually say, and the quantity of reviews and how recent those reviews are. So having a continuous stream of good quality reviews is really important if you want to capture those people that are doing that comparison, and that's a significant percentage. Now, some of our clients get confused about testimonials and online reviews and what the difference is, and in the following video we go into a bit of detail on that. But suffice it to say that a testimonial is a note that you get from your client that you publish. Their credibility is very poor. They have minimal effect. So it's a good thing to have. It does help to a degree. Compared to testimonials, online reviews is the holy grail, is the gold dust. It's the big influencing factor. These outweigh these dramatically. It's online reviews, online customer reviews that you want if you want to influence decision making in consumers, not testimonials. It doesn't have to have testimonials, but this is where the action is now. Now, where do you need to get clients leaving online reviews? The answer is anywhere. Anywhere they can go and publish an online review is goodness. None of them are negative, they all help. And there's lots and lots of different places. There's probably at least 150 different online review places where people can leave reviews. They're all good to get. The more you have across different platforms, the better. However, there are some that are more influential than others, and there is the big three that we see that are causing a positive influence. The number one by far in terms of its strength of influence is Yelp. Between Yelp and Google, I'd say that's something around 2 to 1. Getting a string of positive reviews on Yelp outweighs getting positive reviews on Google 2 to 1. This is where you want to be. If you're going to start anywhere, you want to be getting reviews on Yelp. The catch to this, the other side of that coin, is it's the most difficult to get reviews on. In a follow-on video, we'll talk specifically about Yelp and how to get reviews on Yelp. But suffice it to say, if you can, this is where you want to be getting the reviews. Second to that, way out in front of any others, is Google Local. These results show up directly in the search results and they influence the buyers big time. This is the second most important place to get reviews. Then there's a big gap. This one applies really only if you are in the home improvement marketplace. If you have a product or service to people that are doing remodeling or building a home or adding some kind of new feature to a home or buying something for the home, then House, this is House by the way, is very, very strong. We're hearing from our clients and we see data online that supports the fact that House is very influential and drives a lot of lead generation and purchase decisions. After these, there's a whole slew of different places to get reviews. Bear in mind, this is the place to start. These are the ones that you want to focus on above all others. This is why we say, in 2014 and beyond, your ability to get reviews is the competitive advantage that you can have. You need to be getting a continuous stream of positive reviews because it is the recentness of the reviews and it is the quantity of reviews and it is the quality of those reviews that is going to strongly influence decisions to click and visit your website. It's going to influence buying decisions. It's going to influence people to pick up the phone and call you. One last footnote to this whole process is there's a whole process around how to get reviews. You don't actually ask reviews. You should be asking, did you love our service? And by asking this question, you're more likely to get people to leave you reviews. The rest of this training and the rest of the videos is all about, we've established that you need to get online reviews, but how exactly do you go about doing that? We've created some tools to make that process easier for you, and we've created a stream of tips of things that you can do to change your behavior so that you have a much greater chance of getting reviews in the first place. And we also talk about, if you have an organization where other people are involved in this process, how to make that work in a larger company as well.